Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
that they're
heavy-duty
really
stuff. I know
set
a lot
up
of
for
folks
success.
that could benefit from that
Right,
program.
I've learned a lot attending those classes
Right.
as well. But we also have a kids program, and we kind of teach the same types of things to kids that is appropriate at their age. So just about being money smart and budgeting and what it is to be a part of a family that owns a home.
Yeah,
So,
good skills.
Yeah, for sure.
There's an interesting side note to tonight's broadcast because you actually have a Habitat kid that's going to be playing.
Yeah, one of the kids from one of our Habitat families that have gone through the program, they've been in their home, I think 2 years now, single mom of 4 boys, and he's playing in the Myrtle Beach team tonight. So we're excited, and there's a lot of us here from Habitat to cheer him on.
Well, this is a story that's huge in this community, but it's repeated in communities all across the country.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Yeah, Habitat, it really does. It's a hand up, not a handout. And so we work with families to help them better their lives for themselves and for their children going forward. So it's a great thing to be a part of, and they're the families that live in our community. They go to school with our kids we work with, so it's just a great thing to be a part of. We've got a lot going on this year. We're looking forward to building more homes next year and partnering with more families and businesses and organizations in the community.
I can find out more information online as well?
Yes, it's www.habitatmb.org.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
Carla, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
All righty, boy, I'm ready for some exciting basketball. See how Myrtle Beach does tonight. Well, you come on back. We got plenty more exciting basketball. America's premier high school basketball tournament, the Beach Ball Classic, comes up in just a moment. Stay right there.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches, and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Here we go. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for America's finest high school holiday basketball tournament. It's the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic. Welcome inside the Lambeau Arena. We've got Game 3 this afternoon, actually heading into the evening hours here along the East Coast, and we've got 2 great teams. One has been here many times, one has never been here before, but we are looking forward to seeing North Crowley out of Fort Worth, Texas, take on St. Edward High School from Cleveland, Ohio. And St. Edward, their 9th trip here to Myrtle Beach. They won it in 2007, and Coach Eric Flannery trying for his 2nd Beach Ball Classic championship. Welcome. I'm Ellen Smothers, courtside with Big Shots basketball head scout Kevin Schneider. Welcome back to the Beach Ball, Kevin.
Love being here, and I'm glad we got another exciting matchup tonight between North Crowley and obviously St. Edward.
I tell you what, Kevin knows more about players across the country than anybody I know, aside from Van Coleman of the Basketball Channel, and that's why Kevin is going to take his place in the championship this year. But we'll get to that on Monday. Tonight, great matchup between St. Edward Eagles from Cleveland, Ohio, and North Crowley, Texas, the Panthers of head coach Tommy Brackle. We'll tell you more about them on Stadium in a moment, but coming in January, we've got a special treat for you. Stadium is going all access with the number 6th ranked Nevada Wolfpack. Here's a sample of what to expect.
Want me spinning? Am I just staying at you or am I laughing at this? Okay.
Hard knocks type of programming, and everyone loves running with the Wolfpack on Stadium.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Back courtside at the Lambeau Arena inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Alan Smothers alongside Kevin Schneider, and we're setting you for tonight's third first-round game here on this Thursday edition of the Beach Ball Classic, the 38th annual. And we had 4 first-round games last night, and this is the third of 4 more today. There will be one more following this game. Bishop O'Connell out of Arlington, Virginia, taking on Myrtle Beach High School. But in this contest, St. Edward from Cleveland, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland, and Eric Flannery, whose team has been here for 9 trips. And I've been here for all of them. I've broadcast every one of St. Edward games that when they've come to the beach over the years. But he comes in struggling a bit. They're 3-2. They've lost 2 in a row. They lost to Lima, Ohio, and to Rush, who is the #1 team in the Cleveland area. And so he thinks that this could be a chance for his team to turn things around a bit. He's getting Montori Foster back tonight. He's been injured, banged up a little bit, and he feels like that this is a chance for his team to see some of the best competition in the country and to get on track. But only 5 games under their belt coming here to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, obviously it's a young season for them. Ohio teams start later. North Crowley comes in 17-2. They started in early November. So if you're St. Edward's, you obviously want to get back on track. Eric Flannery's squad. They do have the talent, though. Grant Huffman, he'll be the player to watch for St. Edward. Comes in with several high-level offers. Number 5, Grant Edward. He's a top 5 player in Ohio in the 2020 class, and he's a talent.
Well, Grant Huffman, Xavier, UC, you know all about these guys. You've seen the recruiting. You run the Big Shots basketball scouting service, see the camps and the showcase events that you guys put on all across the country. So I'm sure that you've seen many of the players on both these teams tonight.
Yeah, obviously Grant Huffman started for OBC on the circuit. He has offers from Xavier, Duquesne, Toledo, Miami of Ohio, even getting interest now from Ohio State, Notre Dame. And then obviously you got some Ohio Red guys who they're familiar with Myrtle Beach coming and playing here. So, and then the North Crowley guys always have some athletic wings, some guards that can play, and they're led by the big fella inside, Isaiah Crawford, who has 2 offers from UTSA and also Louisiana Tech.
Well, I tell you what, the North Crowley Panthers, this is a fairly young program, fairly young school. They opened in 1999, so they've only been open 20 years. And their only head coach has been Tommy Brackle. Tommy got offered the job. He was at a small school before as an assistant coach, but his first head coaching job came here at North Crowley High School. In his 22nd year, he's won over 600 games.
Wow. 600. He's won 16 of the last 18 district championships, and he knows how to win. And I heard one of his former players, he has 8 players that have played in his program now coaching within the district. And I think that's something. He said tradition never graduates, and that's what you see here. And they have another talented team.
All right, it's time for tonight's national anthem as we introduce the players to the folks here at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Tonight's national anthem here at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center as we get ready for North Crowley, the Panthers, taking on St. Edward, the Eagles from Ohio. The Eagles 3-2, as I said. North Crowley is 17-2, coming in off a win over the Young Men's Leadership Academy by 20-plus points. And this North Crowley team 604 wins under Coach Tommy Brackle, only 125 losses. As I said, he's been the only school, or the only coach the school has ever known, and he's got a great staff with him too. I tell you what, I talked to the assistant coaches before the game, and these guys were on top of it. And they love working for Coach Brackle, and I think this group that they brought here to Myrtle Beach is one that not a lot of people know a lot about, but I think one that's going to be very tough, a tough out for this St. Edward squad. Who knows all about playing in Myrtle Beach.
Yep. And, you know, they come in last year, went 31-6, and they're obviously out to a good start, 17-2 this season. But tradition they have, they'll make another run in the district champ title, and they come in ranked number 7 in the state of Texas in 6A. And they're a team that always is making noise. They've had a lot of standout players over the years. Willie Warren, who started at OU, Keith Langford, who started Kansas, and they produce players that not only win at the high school ranks, but they move on to college and help you win championships there as well.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for North Crowley. North Crowley is the home team in the white tonight with blue numbers and black trim. They'll start in the backcourt with Isaiah Crawford, a 6'6 senior. Also, Isaiah Wyatt is a 6'3 senior. He starts in the backcourt. The front court, Jakari Chambers, 6'2 senior, 6-foot sophomore Brendan Ford, and 6'4 senior Chris Jordan. Crawford, top scorer on the team, 17 points per game. Also, rebounder, 8 rebounds per game, leads the team as well. So you can look for Isaiah Crawford to be the go-to guy.
Yeah, he's the man. First team all-district last year. He's out to a strong start again this season. Obviously a mid to high-level prospect with the job he does inside.
For St. Edward, wearing the road dark green tonight, gold numbers and white trim. They'll start in the backcourt with Demetrius Terry, a 6-foot senior, Montori Foster, who, as I said, has been injured, back tonight, starting at 6'2", a junior, Grant Huffman, a 6'4 junior, Devontae Blanton, a 6'6 junior, and the center is Spencer Crane, a 6'5 senior, and he's going to play baseball at Notre Dame College. So a Division II school in Ohio, and so we've got quite a multi-talented group, multi-sport talented group for St. Edward. And the officials for tonight's game, tipping it up in the center circle, is Ronald McGinnis, Clayton Tucker, and Jeffrey Bailey. The officials tonight. Heavy pressure by St. Edward in the open court.
Tempo is a big key in this game. North Crowley has 12 wins where they've held teams under 50 points.
Wow.
So they want to play where they lock you down. If you're St. Edward, you want to get up and down the floor. They're trying to play in the 70s.
Nice shake and bake move down the center of the lane by Crawford. Wearing the goggles tonight. I'm assuming that is a normal activity for him. North Crowley came in after winning the Mansfield, Texas Spring Creek tournament to turn the ball over. First possession for the Eagles. Cross-court pass. This guy looks like he's a few years out of high school. He's a little pre-balding like me.
There's the man, Montori Foster. He's one to watch. He's back from injury. He started for All-Ohio Red on the circuit, and he's also a Division I prospect for St. Edward.
Look at this defensive pressure by the Eagles. Right on the ball. 2-0 St. Edward, but it's a tie ball game now as North Crowley scores baseline left.
That's Isaiah Wyatt. Comes in, also a Division I prospect. He's a 170 shooter. Shooting over 85% from the line, 45% from 2, and 40 from 3.
Pull-up jumper by Montori Foster. Drains it straight away 15 feet.
He's a junior. Coach Flannery spoke very highly about Montori Foster, number 2.
He did. He said that he's a definite mid to high major.
Like the pull-up jumper there.
Nice touch from the nail and a travel on the spin move in the lane. So turnover by North Crowley. And you see Eric Flannery on the far sideline.
Both teams run their sets. They love to get up in you defensively.
Yeah, my first game today, Yates, Texas, and North Crowley said Yates always plays that way, up and down with a frantic pace. And he said that this game, both coaches said this one will be definitely slower than the Christ the King Yates game. I couldn't keep up with it.
That was a high-scoring game. I was watching it from home. I couldn't believe. I mean, every time you turn around, they're scoring at the other end.
I couldn't look down at my spotter board to get names because they were scored at the other end before I looked back up. Good defense by Demetrius Terry. Knocks the ball out of bounds. Panthers have it back. Across the timeline, elbow right. Look at it, all up in the chest. And it causes a turnover.
I love it. I love it. Spencer Crane.
The St. Edward defense causes a turnover.
You can see what both teams are trying to do. They're getting the ball in the hands of their best players early. Isaiah Crawford's had a lot of touches, along with Isaiah White for North Crowley. If you're St. Edward, you want to get into Grant Huffman's hands. Number 5, a 4-star recruit. Had an impressive runner. And this has been the man early. Foster now with 6.
3 for 3 on the ball game, and a timeout by North Crowley. They've got to find an answer for Montori Foster.
I tell you what, he may have been injured, but he's been in that weight room. You can tell he's got a strong frame, able to bounce off defenders. He's had 3 shots that he's hit from all 3 levels of the floor.
So he's got 6 of St. Edward's 8 points, and they are 4 for 4 from the floor, have not missed a shot. A 6-0 run by the Eagles over the last minute and a half. So a quick timeout by the Panthers as they fall behind by a couple of buckets.
I'll tell you, when you win as many games as these 2 coaches have won,
yes,
over 1,000 combined.
Over 1,000.
Great coaches know how to make adjustments. And throughout the course of the game, you'll see it. Yesterday I saw with Jody Barbie and trying to contain Caden Matheny. Today, obviously, coach takes a quick timeout. Coach Brackle winning 587 games. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
so.
With 17 added to it this year, puts him over 600. He's got 604 total. Eric Flannery, 426 in 22 years. And in Ohio, everybody plays at the private school and public school level in the same division. So it's hard to beat those private schools. Air ball by North Crowley. Little depth perception issue in this building for some teams. Has to take a while to get acclimated to the longer. And you see the three-point line. I talk about this all the time. We've got the college three-point line, which is the black line. We've got the high school line, which is the blue line that intersects with the top of the key. But it's darker. The darker line kind of fools the players into believing, the peripheral vision, that they're behind the high school line when they could step in another 1.5 feet.
Well, you know how it is as a shooter. You want to shoot it from the farthest line that you see.
Exactly.
That's the one you're taking.
And a steal in the front court. Nice job by Crawford. Crawford gets it ahead, and a couple of bats knocks it through for North Crowley.
Jakari Chambers with the lay-in comes in averaging nearly 8 a game. Very impressed with Isaiah Crawford with his ability at his size to put the ball on the floor. You see why a lot of Conference USA schools are coming after number 1.
Breaks a scoring drought of over 2 minutes for the Panthers. There's your shooter. Comes up short on this one, pulls the string. Does Grant Huffman. And here's the big man, Isaiah Crawford, trying to take it coast to coast, and he loses the ball out of bounds. And Eric Flannery jumps up off the bench and says, that's the guy we've got to stop across half court. Don't let him get it that deep.
I thought Foster did a nice job containing Crawford on the bounce.
Baseline dribble drive, then a pass along the line, and a three-point shot from deep in the left corner by Demetrius Terry.
They call him Michi, knocking it down.
Well, Michi, that's the best shot in basketball, according to the NBA analysts. With 11:40 to play, we've got a media timeout. St. Edward leads North Crowley from Texas 11-4 as you watch the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach on Stadium.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
These telecasts of the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic are brought to you by these outstanding sponsors of this event, including HTC. This is Life. Connect with it and visit myrtlebeach.com. St. Edward, 11-4, leading North Crowley, and that suffocating defense almost causes a turnover off the inbound. Bounce pass sideline right. Now in the corner. Boy, this is a welcome change from that breakneck pace we had in game one. And what a shot. A little left-handed hanger, and it went down. They're going to count it. Yep. And a free throw coming. Good shot by Michael Coleman off the bench. 5'10" senior comes in, and his dribble penetration got the roll off the backboard.
That was a tough shot,
Yeah.
and obviously Coach Brackle's going deep in his bench. Michael comes in averaging only 1 point a game, so going deep in the bench and to see him make a play like that hopefully brings a spark to the North Crowley squad.
And my favorite player in the tournament just entered the game, Evan Williams. I have a bench on my front porch that's got Evan Williams all over it.
Well, he's got you calling the game. That's good luck there.
My favorite player in the tournament.
There you see Wyatt with the putback.
Bounce pass into the corner, and a travel gives it back to North Crowley. Yes, indeed. I'm rooting for Evan Williams. There's Coach Brackle. And he's rooting for Evan, too, I guarantee it.
Sure he is.
We might have a little Evan after the game tonight. Here's a drive to the baseline, or to the foul line. Now to the baseline, up off the glass. He made that shot a moment ago. Michael Coleman. Nice job. Kick out to the wing by the Eagles, and they tried the post entry. Bullet pass. It was deflected out of bounds. I believe it's going to stay on the right end. Sitting down for St. Edward, Spencer Crane. Entering the game is Mark Gertner. Got a little German accent there. Gertner. And he's setting up in the post, and on the bounce into the lane, blocking foul called against the Panthers. Game has been narrowed to a 3-point affair now. 6-0 run early separated the teams, and a 5-second violation.
Coach Brackle's got to love that.
Yeah.
On a 4-0 run. Both teams obviously thriving off their defense. St. Edward came out hot, shooting 5 of 6.
Across the 10-second line, now the stop and go. Off to the big man, Crawford, into the lane, hanging one-hander, a little teardrop.
That's the matchup to watch. Isaiah Crawford, Devontae Bland, both mid to high level recruits. If you're a scout or a college coach, that's the matchup you want to see.
Absolutely, I want to see more Crawford like that.
There's Bland right here.
Pass outside, 3 in the air, too short, and Crawford yanks it off and heads the other way with it himself.
Love how he handles it. He's big time.
And he avoided the charge and laid it off the glass for his 6th point here in the first half.
Isaiah Crawford can play. In today's game, in a positionless style of play, he's the type of player you want on the floor.
Oh, that was body control at its finest. Here's a shot from the right corner. Weak side rebound, and North Crowley jumped in front. Dribble baseline right. Long three in the air off the front. And St. Edward, a little late. Montori Foster could have had that one, but he delayed himself for a second and got beat to the ball. North Crowley sending in Isaiah Wyatt back into the ball game, replaces Crawford.
North Crowley's starting to get those 50-50 balls.
Yep.
I thought the inside Wyatt had a couple putbacks, and obviously you see Crawford doing what he does.
Off the inbound. Woo! Dialing up long distance.
11-0 run.
A connection for Trey Ballard. He must be the designated shooter because they threw it straight to him, and he fired off the inbound. Jump pass is stolen. To the forecourt, all the way to the rack, missing the shot, and it's lost out of bounds by the Panthers. So St. Edward dodges a bullet right there.
I tell you what, when you start making shots, your defense starts to fly around a lot more.
Yep.
And that's what you see with North Crowley. They're starting to cause some turnovers, get out in transition. They're riding an 11-0 run.
11-0 run. 13-3 over the last 3.5 minutes. And almost caused a turnover right there. Hanging one-hander with a left. And a foul on the shot. It's going to be 2 coming for St. Edwards. Number 10, Devontae Blanton. Devontae Blanton trying to draw them back to within a bucket. And he connects on the front. We'll get a second. He was 0 for 2 from the field, so finally scratches from the line, and he's 2 for 2 from there.
You mentioned it to me earlier. He's Delvon Rowe's brother.
He is.
You remember Delvon Rowe starred here at the Beach Ball, went on to Michigan State, and he wears number 10 just like his brother did. He holds offers from Cleveland State, Toledo, Dayton, and Duquesne. Devontae Blanton, number 10, junior.
Delvon Rowe was on that team that won the 2007 Beach Ball Classic Championship. In 9 trips with the title. And 2007, actually it was 2006. The year was the 2006-07 season, but it was the 06 Beach Ball Classic Championship that St. Edward won. But Delvon Rowe was a star on that team.
They've made some runs in the years past. Obviously, DJ Funderburk, who's starring for your NC State Wolfpack.
Yes, he is.
He was the #1 JUCO player in the country after he had left St. Edward, went to Ohio State, redshirted, and ended up going down to Florida for JUCO. And now he's in Kevin Keats' backyard, obviously.
I'm glad we got him for 3 years if he doesn't go pro.
Watch, man. Super versatile player. DJ Funderburk started at St. Edward.
They've had a few stars through the years, that's for sure. And into the ball game for the first time now is Brennan Raines for St. Edward. Out front with it, Mark Gertner. Up to the line,
Nice.
to the lane, and a blocking foul. Count the bucket, and 1.
He hasn't missed yet. Montori Foster, 4 for 4. The junior Division I prospect. He's showing that today here at the Beach Ball.
He's played all the way, and he has made every shot he's put up. He also has an assist and a steal. And can't convert the old-fashioned three-point play, though. The only thing he's done wrong here in the ball game. Crawford back in for North Crowley, 6'6" senior. 17 points, 8 rebounds a ball game. Cross court's a pass to a wide open shooter who misfires from the right corner, Chris Jordan. And it's knocked out of bounds by the Panthers, Trey Ballard. And a couple of substitutions back in. Trayvon Bogan for North Crowley.
Coach Brackle's going deep into his bench, and the bench helped make a run. where they gained the lead. Now we're not at 15.
Josiah Knight in for St. Edward. In the left corner, dribble drive into the 3-second lane, cross-court a pass to the right baseline. And tried to penetrate the lane but couldn't get there. Has to turn around and send it back up top.
These teams play good basketball.
Great defense.
Two-way players, two-way teams. They play at both ends of the floor. That's why they win as much as they do.
I'm just telling you, both teams are playing stellar defense. Just straight up man-to-man defense, and that's what I like to see. Straight up man. And a missed shot off the front of the rim goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to North Crowley. And here comes Grant Huffman back in the ball game.
Look for him to get going here. He's the player to watch.
Yep.
Grant Huffman, the star player at St. Edward, comes in a 4-star prospect, recently offered by Xavier, number 5 in green.
Spencer Crane, the baseball standout, back in for the Eagles as well.
He looks like a pitcher that he pushed in the 90s.
He's a big one. He comes out to guard the ball, then slides back to his man. St. Edward in a zone now.
Tough.
Hanging one-hander by Isaiah Crawford. That's 2 of those.
He can really play, Allen. I mean, he can hit shots all over the floor. He can put it on the deck. I know he had a great circuit season with MASH Warriors, and he's one I'm definitely really liking today.
Love his touch on those little soft floaters. Here's a long-range 3 off the back iron, and a fight for the rebound is won by the big man, Spencer Crane. Ahead to the lead guard, Demetrius Terry. The head man pass is lost, but it's last touch by the Panthers. In for St. Edwards, there's your boy, Montori Foster. He's checked out for a quick breather, and Josh Ogle comes in as well. His twin brother, Jake, will see some action as well. Both 6'2" seniors.
It's always fun playing with your brother out there on the floor.
I know you played with your brother.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. That's memories you'll never forget.
And a pass inside. That's Grant again, and he scores this time.
Grant Huffman has a nice feel. Obviously, Spencer Crane, the baseball star,
Spencer Crane, I'm sorry.
He brings the energy. Huffman. That's his thing that obviously Coach Flannery wants from number 12, and he's doing that.
Yeah, Spencer Crane, he's got the strength to play in the paint, and he proved it right there. Tough 2. And we're tied at 17. There's a turnaround, and Crawford unties the ball game.
He's one of the better players I've seen at the beach ball.
He is really, I mean,
this year he's one of the better players.
Very smooth, not a lot of effort in his play.
And he can put it on the deck.
And when I say that, I don't mean that as a criticism. I mean it as a compliment. He looks very effortless in the way he plays, and he's got a soft touch, doesn't overexert himself. I like the way this kid is flowing into the game.
Yeah, Isaiah Crawford holds an offer from UTSA and Louisiana Tech, number 1, but he's showing that he can play at a high level. His versatility, and that's a positionless type of player that you want and can play at a number of positions, number 1 in white. Obviously, you see Foster at the line. He's another standout here, Division I prospect for St. Edward.
We don't have Crawford on our board yet, but Isaiah Crawford has at least 8 points.
And his game translates. I mean, the buckets he's getting, you will get at the next level. I watched B.J. Stith have a big game earlier this season for ODU. He's probably the front runner, him or John Elmore for Player of the Year in the Conference USA. He's similar to B.J.
Left side, shot by Isaiah Wyatt, off the mark. And St. Edward on the move. Underhand pass, dribbling past the 3-second lane, and well, no, that's not a 3-second violation. They weren't in the front court for 3 seconds. That's a bad call. They weren't even in the front court for 3 seconds.
Hey, that game you called earlier today,
Yeah.
Christ the King and Yates, man, they were playing in the 90s.
If they had 3-second possessions.
I'm sure you had to take a nap after that one.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a long, high-scoring game. Fun to watch.
Skip pass near side. Jump pass up top. Down to 4.5 minutes. And now it's a breakaway for St. Edward in the right corner. Here's Demetrius Terry. 3 is too long. And a whistle off the ball, it looks like. It's Coach Eric Flannery.
Tell you what, these teams are so well coached. Even on that last possession, you'll take it. You had Foster coming down. You had Michi in the corner. He made the right read. Both teams are making the right passes. The shots just aren't falling here in the first half.
Outside, Jakari Chambers off to Isaiah Wyatt. Thought about a three, and now his teammate Chris Jordan will take one. Offensive rebound, rings out. Another board for the offense. North Crowley owning the backboard right now on the offensive end. And that does not make Eric Flannery happy at all. And we've got a timeout on the floor with a 19-19 tie between St. Edward and North Crowley. Stay close. More of the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic coming your way after this.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Back inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, it's the J. Lambert Schwartz Arena hosting the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic on Stadium. And tonight, St. Edward is wearing a very special shooting shirt this evening. They've just brought them in this evening. And Kevin, can you tell me about it?
Yeah, I follow St. Edward on Twitter, and they're wearing the green shirts that say Jacob Strong. That's in honor of Jacob Pritchett, an alum that played at St. Edwards who's battling brain cancer. Spoke to the team earlier at practice, and his inspiration, they're wearing those shirts and obviously out there playing hard for one of their former players, Jacob Pritchett.
That's awesome, and he's sitting at the end of the bench with the green shirt. Everybody in the stands with St. Edward wearing those shirts. The scorekeeper, even the ambassadors for St. Edward wearing the Jacob Strong shirts tonight. That's a great tribute to the young man. 19-19 as North Crowley tries to break the tie, and that is the fourth attempt on this trip down the court. They've got 3 offensive rebounds, and on the putback, they got fouled.
Yeah, that's what helped them get back in the game. They now have 11 offensive rebounds, and there you see Jacob Pritchett. That's great, man. I love to see him here on the court, cheering on his boys.
God bless him. 3:20 to play in the first half. Very tight ball game. Not nearly at the pace we had in game 1 today, but the second game of the afternoon was a very tightly contested game to the very end. Westchester out of Los Angeles, California, Coach Ed Azam, and the Comets pulled away from North Mecklenburg 54-44 to move to the quarterfinals tomorrow evening. They'll play the winner of this one. Actually, they won't. They will play the team Yates, Texas. So it'll be Yates and Westchester. That's at 5:15. No, 7 o'clock tomorrow. 7 o'clock, Yates and Westchester. Then the winner of this one will play the winner of the Bishop O'Connell Myrtle Beach game to follow at 8:45 tomorrow night. Yeah, as many games as I do during the week, they run together.
I tell you, that Westchester-North Met game was a battle. You know, both teams, obviously Westchester out of L.A., city champs last year. They're coming in with another standout squad. And North Meck went 25-2 last season. So both teams, tough first-round matchup. That's what you get here at the Beach Ball. And here's another one.
Grant Huffman.
St. Ed goes up back up by 1.
Second field goal of the ball game. He's got 4 points now.
He has a nice feel for the game, Grant Huffman. Not just a shooter, can mix it up inside.
Bounce pass to the short corner, double teamed. Crawford gets it across court, then gets it back top of the key.
Nice pass.
Bullet pass inside for an easy 2 for the Panthers.
There's Crawford showing his versatility. Number 1, senior, available. College coaches, pay attention.
And North Crowley up by 1 and then down by 2 after the 3-point shot by St. Edward. And they're going to try to match it at the other end, around and out on the trifecta. Traveling violation. That was an easy call on Devontae Blanton. Blanton, 6'6" junior. As we said earlier, his brother played on the Beach Ball Classic championship team of 2006. Delvon Rowe. I remember him well. They were a talented team. And you know what? And that was one of the few teams that just ran roughshod through the field that year. I mean, St. Edward was loaded.
He was a special talent, man. He could mix it up in a number of ways. Tough. Obviously had a standout career for Tom Izzo at Michigan State. He's passed along some of his talents to his brother, Devontae Blanton, number 10, being recruited for Cleveland State, Toledo, Dayton, Duquesne, all have offered.
Isaiah Wyatt looks for it in the paint, but it's picked off by Spencer Crane.
Like how he can put it on the deck. Blanton, that's a big-time pass.
Great skip pass, and then he gets it back on the left wing, fires short on the 3, and the Panthers now will slow things down. Trey Ballard off to Wyatt. Now to Michael Coleman. Coleman hit a tough shot early, and he's going to try to take him off the bounce this time. It's going to be Crawford for 3, and it's too long, but St. Edward, 4-on-2 break. Broken up by Crawford, and he comes away with it.
Wow.
Bounce pass. Ahead to Wyatt. Good.
I like that. The 2 stars making plays.
Inside a minute to go in the first half. Tied at 24. It's the way it's supposed to be.
How about that push from Crawford, that last possession? One-handed bounce pass. Crowley's starting to push.
And Crawford tries to underhand one here again for another assist, but he ran over. Eagle in the lane, and that Eagle is Josh Ogle.
Josh Ogle hit a 3 in the corner. Now he steps in, taking a charge, the senior, making plays. We're still tied at 24.
It'll be St. Edward trying to hold for the last shot, I would imagine. Taking their time, bringing it across the timeline. Eric Flannery, I asked him, I said, Coach, where did you go to college? He said, well, I went to play at Penn State Barron, but I left after 2 weeks, came back home, and began my coaching career because he played at St. Edward, graduated in 1990, and his former coach asked him to help out with the JV team, and he fell in love with coaching. And when his coach retired, he took over as the head coach, and he's been there for 22 years. And we're going to halftime, all knotted at 24 apiece, as St. Edward can't get off a good shot at the end. We'll tell you more about that story in a bit, but a very well-played, great defense on both sides for the Panthers and the Eagles. And if they play that kind of defense again, we're going to have one heck of a ball game at the end.
Yeah, both teams set the tone early. I thought St. Edward got out to a quick start. North Crowley responded, and now we're tied at 24.
And the third member of our broadcast team, Banana Jack Murphy, will join us for the visitmyrtlebeach.com halftime report when we come back on the other side as you watch the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach on Stadium. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is upping our game with a brand new state-of-the-art indoor sports complex. The Myrtle Beach Sports Center is just steps from the Atlantic Ocean and features 100,000 square feet of year-round tournament and event space. The center offers a combination of 8 regulation basketball courts, 16 volleyball courts, and more. With over 70,000 square feet of free span space, this massive venue can host everything from mat sports to trade shows. For more information or to book your event, contact the Myrtle Beach Sports Center today.
Welcome back. It's all about that halftime show with the real Wally B from visitmyrtlebeach.com. Hey, Wally B.
Jack, how are you, sir?
Let me help you out with that mic there, man.
Ooh,
oh,
hey.
yeah, there we go. There you go. Got to take care of Visit Myrtle Beach.
I've been in business too long. What do they call these things again?
It's a mic flag. Nothing at half-mast here, man. Straight up to the top tonight.
I'm like, my goodness.
You started out as a mascot, didn't you?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Yeah.
I was the Ohio University Bobcat.
In that suit.
Circa 81 to 85.
Wow.
Now I'm showing my age.
We were talking about how long we've been here and blessed to be able to do.
I tell you what, we've been living the salt life before that sticker ever came out.
Way before, man. I'm a saltwater cowboy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I tell you what, I tell people back up north, who came from Ohio, and they come down to visit and they say, you know what? We know why you won't come back.
Oh, sure.
Because we're living in paradise.
I married a girl from Ohio, and I love Ohio.
There you go.
I mean, I absolutely love it.
What part's the wife from?
She's from Toledo.
Okay, so she's a Rocket.
Yes, she is.
Awesome, okay.
She went down to school at Columbus, though.
Oh, she went to
the College of Art and Design.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, she did that B word.
Yeah, she's not a Buckeye.
Okay.
In that sense of the word.
Awesome.
But you've had a great radio career here in town.
I've been very blessed in Myrtle Beach. Been very good to me, and like you, big time talents that could be in a major market, but we stay here because we love it.
Well, I choose to.
Well, and as I've been told, there are those of us in the business who are here because we want to be. And some of us are here because we have to be.
Got sand in the shoe,
Yes.
Got married with a mortgage. Why not just stick around?
Well, it's really funny. My first 2 years here, I left after 2.5 years. I went back to Ohio, to Cleveland, was doing radio, and I was in my hometown, loving it, but I really missed the South and being in Myrtle Beach, and I said, if I get a chance to go back, I'm not going to come back this way. And I came back in '98 and been back since, and I go back to visit, and that's about it.
It does get cold.
Oh, yes,
a little bit of lake effect snow over there.
Oh, yeah. When you're used to that northern weather, you come down here, it's like you don't even have winter at all.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to hit 71 degrees here.
Part of why we stay here.
There you go.
I love it.
I don't know where you're watching tonight's broadcast, but is it going to be 71 in your backyard tomorrow? It's definitely going to be 71.
But if you want beautiful weather at this time of the year, you got to come to the Grand Strand.
You love the sunshine so much, you work at Sunny 103.1.
Yes, and they just celebrated the 30th year on the air in town.
Okay.
30 years now, and I've been there for 2 years.
The home of John Boy and Billy still?
Yes.
Because that's like a universal name.
Oh, my God, yes, sir. I was out at Garden City over the holidays doing some charity broadcasting, and folks walk by and go, John Boy and Billy. John Boy and Billy.
John Boy.
And I'd be like, you ever hear that Wally B guy? They'd be like, who? I say, oh, never mind.
You're also involved in the Beach Ball Classic.
Yes.
Been an announcer.
I am honored to be one. I am the low man on the announcing totem pole.
Okay.
This is my 6th year, but I'm working with some great guys. Steve Walsh, Sinclair Swan, George, Steve. I mean, it's just fun to be a part of. And it took me years to crack, because I was like knocking the door
all
saying,
the time.
Can I announce just, the PA? I did it in high school. And after a while, I talked to the right person that got me in. That was Mrs. Rhodes.
Oh, there we go. So there we go. We may not make a lot of money on these broadcasts, but we get all the donuts we want.
Oh yes, and we get fed very well, too. I admit that. The food's very good. I mean,
actually, we do make a lot of money on this broadcast.
We do well. We are blessed. I mean, and to get paid to have fun and love what you do.
Can't beat it. Come on down here and get you some of this.
Yes.
We came here and we decided to never leave. Visit myrtlebeach.com gives you all the details about real estate and attractions. Plan your next vacation here. We got more basketball coming up on the next side of this break. We'll see you in a bit.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Back at the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, we've got a great game between St. Edward from Ohio and North Crowley from Texas, 24-24 at the half. Let's take a look at the stadium halftime stats. In the first half, you had St. Edward shooting 9 of 19 for 47%, 11 of 29, so North Crowley got 10 more shots because they got 9 more rebounds in the first half than did St. Edward. They worked the glass tremendously. 38% though shooting for North Crowley. Only 1 of 10 from three-point range.
Yeah, they've hit the glass though. They've got 12 offensive rebounds, which is made up the 1 of 10 from 3.
And they've only gone to the line twice, 1 of 4 from there. For St. Edward, 2 of 8 from the bonus sphere and 4 of 5 at the foul line. So neither team got to the stripe very often. 10 turnovers to 8 in the first half, and St. Edward needs to get on the backboard a little bit more and take care of the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, they got to keep their players off the glass. I thought Isaiah White had several putbacks, and Isaiah Crawford was the best player on the floor. I knew he was good coming in. Talked with some high-level coaches that are here at halftime. They're like, Kev, who is number 1? I want to find out more about him. He's played that well to intrigue some high-level coaches here in the house.
Yeah, with his size, he can be a disruptor at 6'6", 6'7". He scored 8 points, pulled down 3 rebounds in the first half, made 4 of 6 shots for North Crowley. For St. Edward, top scorer was Montori Foster. He missed his final shot of the first half, but he made his first 4. He was 4 of 5, had 10 points, and was also the top rebounder with 4 for the Eagles.
Yeah, Montori came out hot, went 4 of 4 to start the game. He was the one that brought the spark and the energy. It's good to see him back on the floor, number 2 in green. Only a junior, definitely a Division I prospect now in the Big Shots rankings.
St. Edward back on the floor. We're waiting on the return of the Panthers, but you're watching the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on Stadium and worldwide at beachballclassic.com. A total of 20 games will be broadcast live nationally, courtesy of the Sinclair Broadcast Group, Lucky Dog Television Productions, HTC Communications, and the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. We certainly appreciate you joining us for America's finest high school holiday basketball tournament, but we'd love to have you join us on the beautiful Grand Strand of South Carolina. Find out how by going to visit myrtlebeach.com and learn more. But you'll always have a front row seat at the Beach Ball Classic, where you're watching right now on Stadium. And we want to tell you about the Stadium new lineup coming in January. If you haven't sampled us yet, you should check out Stadium's Monday through Friday programming lineup. At the start of the day at 10 each weekday morning Eastern Time, our morning show called The Territory is where you can take you across the biggest stories in sports across America. Sauce and Shram moves up 3 hours and will air at noon, also followed by a new high school show called Emerge at 2 p.m. Campus Insiders moves back a half an hour to 2:30, and then they wrap up the day by setting you up for the night in sports with the Rally. Game time in America at 6 p.m. Stadium, a new way to watch sports. Welcome to the game. We appreciate you guys being a part of us. here in Myrtle Beach. 24-24 is the score. St. Edward on top of North Crowley. Or actually 24-24, they're even, not on top, but North Crowley is going to retreat on defense to start the second half. St. Edward in the road green, North Crowley in the home white, and we are set for second half action. Coach Tommy Brackel's team didn't shoot the ball as well, but they got a lot more shots, so that makes up for it.
You know, when you come in 17-2 and have won as many games as they've won over the years, you're not always going to shoot well, but it's what you do defensively. Hit the offensive glass, get the 50-50 balls that keep you in the game where you can hopefully knock down some more shots and pull it out at the end.
Demetrius Terry picks up his dribble, got double teamed for a moment, and finally got away a pass. Off to Montori Foster. Foster picks up where he left off in the first half.
He really attacks the basket hard, especially going right. Can elevate, avoid a charge. Foster now with 12.
Sticks the Eagles on top for the moment. 26-24. I was finishing my story about Coach Flannery. He went off to play college basketball at Penn State Barron, but decided to come home after a couple of weeks and went to Cleveland State. Got his teaching degree and got his 4-year degree there while he was coaching at his alma mater, St. Edward, and ultimately was named the head coach, where he has since won 426 games at his alma mater.
You were telling me who his first loss came to as well.
That's right. He was very proud of this. He said, my first loss as a head coach came right here at the Beach Ball Classic, and he lost to Morgan Wooten, the legendary head coach of the DeMatha Stags, and St. Edward jumps back on top. After scoring the first bucket, they've made 2 in a row now.
You don't like to remember many losses, but
no.
that may be one you will remember. Losing to the great Morgan Wooten, and we'll see his son, Joe Wooten, and his squad coming up next.
That's right. Joey Wooten, the head coach of Bishop O'Connell. They've been here many, many times before as well. Each team has scored on their first 2 possessions of the second half. So we stay knotted at 28. Joe Wooten, his wife, basically runs the McDonald's All-American game. And we've got 6 voters of the McDonald's All-American game here this week at the Beach Ball, including our executive director, John Rhodes.
She does a great job. Both of them do. Highly intense.
Terry is on the coaching staff. I mean, she considers herself, or not considers herself, but she is certainly a knowledgeable basketball person and makes sure that the McDonald's All-American game comes off without a hitch every year. And she's also the trainer on the basketball team as well.
She does it all, man, and known her many years, and it's great to see them back here at the Beach Ball.
And of course, Coach Flannery. Oh my, nice job on the baseline by Demetrius Terry. He's come out with a little fire in his eyes.
Yeah, the lanes are starting to open up for Terry and Foster to attack the bucket. Number 1 and 2.
A little extra something for Terry here in the second half. He's come out with some purpose. Now Devontae Blanton skips a pass across court to Montori Foster.
Nice pass.
Back outside for Terry. His 3 is long, and he gets it back on the baseline, and it's stripped out of his hands, off his leg, out of bounds.
That looked like it went off North Crowley, but
I thought it did too.
They're saying it hit
The
Beachy's leg.
Yeah, he was right on top of it, the official baseline. Coach Flannery begs to differ.
Every possession matters in a game like this when it's a defensive battle. Any inch you can get, you're going to take.
Isaiah Wyatt almost got the 5-second closely guarded count run out. And here's your man, Crawford. This time the floater across the lane comes out. Beautiful lead pass and a missed dunk. Wow, that one hurts as Demetrius Terry caught a perfect full court lead pass, and now North Crowley ties it back up.
That's a 4-point swing. There's your guy, Evan Williams, with the spin in the bucket.
Yeah, Evan Williams gets his first field goal, and Terry is finding it hard to keep hold of the basketball, and nice shot by Mark Gertner.
We have a three that drops. Gertner knocking it down.
St. Edward jumps back on top by 3. Almost an over and back there.
They switch to a zone here. Nice pass.
Crawford, interior pass. I think we're going to have a foul on the floor against Grant Huffman.
You're seeing some big-time passes. Huffman got a pass. Obviously, Michi just missed that last dunk, but Crawford's really throwing it, making some dropping dimes, as we say, in the paint, in transition. Blanton's made some nice reads. The shots aren't falling, but you see the players making the reads, and that's well-coached programs right there.
Isaiah Crawford using his muscle to clear out the paint, get up a tough shot, got fouled. He'll fire twice. Perfect on the first one. Draws North Crowley back to within 2.
Comes in shooting 73% on the year from the line. It's an area I'd like to see him do more.
That's
shoot
just
the rock,
a
but he can get to the rim
smooth shot.
anytime he wants.
That is a smooth stroke. 1-point ball game. St. Edward with the lead. Eagles into the lane. Huffman almost falls down. Gives it to Terry. Terry scores from close in. And Coach Brackle puts his hands in the air going, guys, you can't let him get that close.
Yeah, Foster and Terry, those are straight line drives, and you want to try and have them eliminated. That's too easy. Obviously, see Crawford knocking it down.
Crawford with a set shot.
Both teams starting to open it up offensively a little bit.
Terry loads the gun for 3, steps in for a 2, and the left-hand lay-in is good.
Another straight line drive from Terry, showing he can finish at the rim.
Puts St. Edward back on top.
Terry's playing with a lot more energy this second half.
Crawford's feeling it right now. Crawford with back-to-back triples here in the third.
Talking with some coaches at halftime, they said, Kev, how well does he shoot the 3? Well, I think he's answered that question. He's hit back-to-back 3s.
Wow. I didn't know if he had that kind of stroke, but he certainly has the mid-range game. Now he's showing the long-range game.
There's Foster again, the junior Montori Foster, Division I player. Super quick burst off that first step.
He's missed only 1 shot in the ball game, 6 for 7. Another 3 in the air by Crowley. North Crowley getting a little happy from the bonus sphere. Now let's see if Huffman makes one from there. He does. Grant Huffman bangs it in from the left corner.
Nice pass from Foster to find the star player. Grant Huffman comes in top 5 2020 prospect in Ohio, number 5 in green.
Hard drive down the channel. Tipped out for an offensive rebound. Back in the paint. He runs into a defender. Huffman got a shoulder in the gut. And he was knocked out of bounds at the 10:28 mark. We've got a foul on the floor. And we'll see if we've got shots when we return, as St. Edward has jumped on top by 4, 42-38, as you watch the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Back again at the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic. Man, I've been here for 32 of these Kev, and I came at the 6th year when it was still played over at the Sockasty High School, and man, it was packed in. Did you see him when it played at Sockasty?
Yeah, you've seen them all come through.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind through the years, but tell you what, back then the atmosphere was so electric. Not as electric in this building, but it's more, the atmosphere is different. It's bigger, more expansive, right on the beach. So the players get to experience, staying right across the street at the Breakers Resort as the first free throw by Jakari Chambers comes out. But it's a different atmosphere in here. But I'll tell you what, St. Edward was one of my favorite teams all time when they came through. And Coach Flannery coached both of his boys at St. Edward, and they're now playing college basketball at John Carroll.
Well, they're tough. I remember they could scrappy players.
Yes,
could
they
really
were.
shoot it. Coach's sons, I know they live in the gym. Probably one day want to coach on the sidelines themselves.
Guarantee it. Guarantee it. That Flannery blood got Coach in it. And what a block shot up underneath. May have been too far beneath the basket. Devontae Blanton had it blocked, but they get it back on the baseline.
I like that set coming out of a timeout, getting Blanton the ball on a down screen.
Huffman with great body control.
That's his game. He's a slasher. He can shoot the three, but he's best driving to the rack, making reads, and obviously finishing at the rim, avoiding the charge.
Turned his body where he didn't draw the charge and still laid it in off the window. Stopping and popping for a three, in and out, batted around. There's Crawford again. He just outworked the Eagle for that rebound and the putback.
Crawford now with 18, number 1 in white, senior.
Still a three-point ball game. Huffman near side to Terry. Terry bounces down low to Blanton. Blanton turnaround, hanging one-hander. And Crawford another rebound. Shot from point-blank range comes off, but an offensive board. Stick back for North Crowley. It seems like right now missed shot's the best offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Isaiah White's cleaning up the glass.
Crawford with another steal. He's had a block shot and a couple of steals here in the second half, but has it taken away from him by Huffman.
Nice
Huffman
pass.
lobs it for Terry. He can't come down with it, and he steps on the baseline out of bounds. Quick action, no points out of it.
See North Crowley come in 17-2. One of their players last year committed to UCLA, Grant Sherfield, transferred to Sunrise Christian. I called his game earlier this season. He's a player, a top 150 prospect who started for them last year. But it shows the depth that these programs have. If you're able to lose a player like the likes of a Grant Sherfield and still make the run and be 17-2, players like Isaiah Crawford have really stepped up.
Josiah Knight out front. In ball game, and a 5-second count was on. He had the dribble. Trey Ballard didn't put it on the floor and is called for the 5-second violation. Held ball. So St. Edward clings to a 1-point lead.
You know, the 5-second call in high school has not changed like it has at the college ranks. In the college ranks, obviously, if you're dribbling on the bounce, there's no 5-second count. As soon as you pick it up, obviously the count starts.
Right.
In high school, it still is the 5-second count like we've traditionally played with, where they do have the count on the live dribble.
Yep, closely guarded, but that one, he could have put it on the floor. You have 4.5 seconds, you can hold it. 4.5 seconds, you can dribble. 4.5 seconds, you can hold it again, but he decided not to dribble that time, and the held ball count ran out on him. And a foul is committed on the strip of Josh Ogle. Ogle whips the net on the first one.
Ogle can shoot it. That's a smooth stroke.
It is.
I think he has the best stroke on the team. Number 3 at the line. He hit a 3 earlier, drew a charge. Looking to go 2 for 2 from the line. That's a stroke.
All net on both of those free throws.
Now switching the defense up, going to a 1-2-2 extended. Probably my favorite defense to play. Really controls, dictates what's going on. You control the offense. Purpose of defense is to disrupt the offense, and that's what they're able to do right here in this possession.
Making them uncomfortable with the trap. 3 in the air by Wyatt. Bingo!
Wyatt's a 170 shooter. Comes in shooting 40% from 3, 46 from 2, and 85 from the line. You're seeing the stroke.
He's got 11 points in the ball game, and a chance for North Crowley to retake the lead. Off to Michael Coleman. Coleman now to Crawford, and Crawford scores it from close in again, straight away.
He has that float game down.
He's got it.
Like a Draymond Green type player.
Man, from 10 feet in, he's almost perfect.
So comfortable putting the ball on the deck, number 1 in white. He's a senior. Every year at the Beach Ball Classic, there's players that have blown up.
Yep.
I remember even Kawhi Leonard came in here, underrated, rated some people had.
I had forgotten he played here until I saw his name in the program a couple of weeks ago.
He was rated a mid-major player.
Wow.
Came in, I saw him like, there's no way he's a mid-major player. He's a 95, 96, and obviously the rest is history after that. But he was committed to San Diego State at that time. But there's been players come in here all the time. Luke Kennard made a name for himself here.
Absolutely.
And you're seeing Isaiah Crawford putting on a show.
I think two guys who have come in underrated. You talked about him last night. Caden Matheny from University High in Morgantown, West Virginia, put on a show against the All-American Wendell Moore. He even guarded him, and Wendell Moore had a hard time with the 5'8" player.
Yeah, Caden's a special talent. Had 35, hit 9 threes to tie the record. He had 23 today. He said he was a little gassed. It was a quick turnaround for him. But he's been the fan favorite here at the Beach Ball Classic. Caden Matheny for University High. Plays on our Big Shots Elite team out of West Virginia, and he's a standout that a lot of college coaches are now tuning into.
I really like him, and I like this Crawford kid. Isaiah Crawford, 6'6" senior. And I think the Maryland assistant coach that's here scouting has found a new diamond gem as well.
Fast.
And a nice pass across the paint to Mark Gertner. And Gertner scores from underneath. St. Edward's draws within 3. North Crowley up 51-48 with 6:40 to go. Strange that they called timeout right there, but maybe he wants to change up a little bit. His team fell behind by 5 and scored the unorthodox bucket. I want to thank our beach ball production crew, including our pregame host Jack Murphy, working with Kevin Schneider tonight. I'm Alan Smothers, and our camera operators are Valerie Knapp, Jim Lewis, Wynn Singleton, and Zach Lambert. Our graphics coordinator is Natalie Adams, replay technician Andrew Mize, technical director is Scott Lineberger, our technical assistants are Tristan Blackman and William Bone, and our leader, director, Donald Smith with Lucky Dog Television Productions. I want to thank all those guys, and all these workers. They do every game, every day. All 4 games, where we only do 1 or 2. They do all 4 games start to finish. So they're doing their best work ever over the holidays.
Make our job easy. We just got to call the game and appreciate all their work and efforts.
Sit here and talk about it. That's all we do. They make sure that the picture comes across loud and clear. Hey, nice job on the missed shot. Followed his shot. Wyatt got it back and stuck it back through.
Wyatt's had about 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. It's led to buckets.
13 points on the night. Terry underneath, a beautiful pass on the interior. Missed shot, but a stick back by Devontae Blanton.
We call that padding the stats a little bit.
Woo.
Missed it, but you know you're there to get the easy offensive putback. Blanton for 2.
Blanton now only with 4 points in the ball game, but he's had a big night on the backboard with 5 rebounds, only 2 of 10 from the floor, and a missed shot, but a foul committed on Michael Coleman. Coach Brackle, his team has stayed right with this North Edward squad, or St. Edward squad. North Crowley up by 3, can add to it. And he does.
And I love how the bench is into the game here for North Crowley. There you see Coach Eric Flannery looking up, down by 4. Hoping to knock down some shots. Michael Coleman's come in and giving them a spark, number 2, the senior.
He certainly has.
Came in averaging 1 point a game.
And he has 3 now, or 4 now. He had a field goal and now 2 free throws. There's a drive to the paint by Huffman, misses the shot, and there's Coleman again.
Like that read from Huffman, though. That's his game. Attack the front foot. Just missed the lay-in.
Closing in on 5 minutes. Remaining in the game, big shot right here. Grazes the front of the cup, and it's rebounded by the Eagles.
He missed out with his feet. Missed the heel toe on that jumper.
4-on-1 break for the Eagles, and a foul. Missed the shot. He should have gotten an and one right there.
St. Edwards has got a lot of good opportunities when they push in transition. Same with North Crowley. Don't let these defenses set up. Both teams are so sound defensively. It's hard to play a half-court game. Hopefully get a couple extra looks playing up tempo.
On Torrey Foster. Misses the free throw. That's unlike him. Foster 6 for 7 from the floor, but only 2 for 4 at the line. Now make it 2 for 5. And it's 3 for 6.
That one came off a lot better off his hand, had a nice flick on it, got the roll.
4-point game. Eagles trying to step up the defense with three-quarter court pressure. And along the baseline, a travel by Crawford. Tried to do a little bit too much right there.
Off the free throw, they went to a 1-2-2. Credit Coach Flannery mixing his defense up, causing the turnover.
So St. Edward can make it a one-possession game.
It's a big possession right here. Get Blanton off the drive, clear out.
And there's Huffman with a drive to the baseline. Had the ball stripped. They got a piece of the arm, and he'll go to the line for 2.
I like that 1-4 high set. They got Blanton the ball in the elbow. Looked to Foster on the wing. Foster cleared out, and obviously Grant Huffman knew what to do with it when he got the handoff.
Huffman on the ball game. 4 of 8, 9 points. Make it still 9. Thought he had that one, but misfires on the free throw, his first of the night.
Keeps the ball high on his shot, has a little unique release with it, but he's knocked it down. Gets it high in the shot pocket. There you go, knocking it down.
Drains the second. He's got double digits now. 10 points for Huffman. Joins Foster in that category of double-digit scorers.
There you
go. Ill-advised pass.
That's the 1-2-2. It's caused back-to-back turnovers. Ogle
got hooked and no whistle. He gets it back top of the key. Sends it off left side, back between the keys. And a reach-in steal. That is Crawford again. Crawford has made his presence felt on both ends of the floor. Counted off the window, and one coming for Trey Ballard.
Trey Ballard comes in the 5th leading scorer for the team. That's a big lay-in to give them a 5-point lead with nearly 4 to go. Those drives you nuts as a coach. 3-point game, 1-possession game. You're looking to get the best shot you can get. Had North Crowley chasing a little bit, and obviously Isaiah made a play.
And you have your pocket picked. Pass outside. Back to Huffman. Huffman into the paint. Got run into. And a block is called. I thought they might get him for a charge there, but I know officials sometimes get charge happy.
You know, on that one, I've never seen the charge from the side.
Yeah.
So
we're going to take time out on the floor with 3:50 to play. It's St. Edward trailing North Crowley 57-52 at the 2018 Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is upping our game with a brand new state-of-the-art indoor sports complex. The Myrtle Beach Sports Center is just steps from the Atlantic Ocean and features 100,000 square feet of year-round tournament and event space. The center offers a combination of 8 regulation basketball courts, 16 volleyball courts, and more. With over 70,000 square feet of free span space, this massive venue can host everything from mat sports to trade shows. For more information or to book your event, contact the Myrtle Beach Sports Center today.
North Crowley, a 5-point lead over St. Edward. St. Edward here for their 9th visit. This is the first time ever for North Crowley. School's only been open since 1999, and Coach Brackle has been their only coach, and he's made it happen. 604 times they visited the winner's circle, and they were 2008 5A state champions.
He's had a great run, 16 of 18 district championships. He's also the athletic coordinator there at the school, and a couple more championships under his belt.
And a block shot underneath. Great block by Evan Williams. And the ball is knocked out of bounds. Coach Brackle wanted a jump ball as they pinned the shot, but it was knocked out of bounds. So North Crowley will give it back to St. Edward. Here's Huffman into the paint, back outside for Terry, loads the gun for 3, misfires. And it's Crawford with a rebound.
2-on-1, make a play.
Trey Ballard stops and then runs over the defender. Oh, they called a block.
I like what Michi
no.
did there.
I thought he was there too. I thought Michi was there. Here's a replay. Let's see it.
I mean, 2-on-1. Should have been the pass there. Michi knew he wasn't passing. He's in.
That is without question a charge. 100%.
Eric Flannery was grabbing his hair, saying, "Man,
100%.
we saw it from here. We had a great angle on it. He didn't slide in. He was there. And
he was there already. That was a bad call. But we've got the luxury of replay over here. So they got to make a split-second call, and a 57-52 lead could expand for North Crowley. It does.
You get extra shot, you take it. Ballard knocking him down.
And he can make it a 3-possession game with this second free throw.
He had a big layup earlier, the and-one layup. Now putting his team up by 6.
It's on the way, but misfires, and this is a huge possession for the Eagles right here. Huge possession.
1-4 high set. Same set they had the last play.
Grant Huffman tries to get a ball screen, but nobody helps him out. So Terry puts it on the floor.
There you go.
Spins into the paint, loses the ball on the way up, and it's a charge this time against St. Edward.
Michi had the right play, just lost control and obviously committed the charge.
Terry loses the ball on the way up and then runs into the defender, and that is going to be his 5th foul, I believe. Is that right?
5th foul, yeah. He just found out have the block charge and obviously the charge at this end.
Wow, that's terrible. That's a toughie. So he fouls out of the ball game. He's been one of their go-to shooters. Hadn't had a big night, but exits with less than 3 minutes to play.
He had 6 in the second half. Demetrius Terry, number 1, finished with 9.
5-second count on Wyatt. He gets it below the hash mark into the foul lane.
There's no shot clock here.
Nope.
So no need to rush if you're North Crowley.
Oh, they had the steal, and it was taken right back underneath the basket. Kicked out, and whistle. Are they going to say it counts? No, a timeout was called before he made the 3.
That's the one you're always like, Coach, come on, man, I was feeling it. And Ballard's been feeling it.
The coach called timeout before the shot went up, so they wipe off the triple, and there's 2.5 minutes to play, and Crowley in front by 6. So a 2-possession game still, but every opportunity the Eagles have had to score, Kevin, they've not converted.
Yeah, and they've had opportunities on the drive. North Crowley's locked down defensively here in the last couple of minutes, stepping in, taking a couple charges. If you're North Crowley right here, I'd like to get the ball in the hands of our star, Isaiah Crawford. He's been good from the line, super efficient within 15 feet. Like to see him get a couple touches. If you're St. Edward, look to push in transition. Don't let North Crowley defense set up. And Huffman's been very good off a board. Bland also can push in transition, so they need to push tempo down by 6.
Hey, you don't want to miss the best college basketball show on Facebook. Catch College Hoops Weekly starting in January, Wednesdays at 7:30. We'll preview the biggest matchups, take a look back at the top highlights of the week, and react to fans' questions and comments. You can catch College Hoops Weekly every Wednesday at 7:30, starting in January, only on Facebook.
Tell you what, I can't wait to tune into the Running with the Wolfpack.
It's going to be good.
I mean, Eric Musselman has it rolling in Reno right now. The Caleb and Cody Martin twins, as fun as any players to watch. They start in big shots. They played here in Myrtle for many years. I know they played at NC State. Now they're out there doing it in Nevada.
Well, they got it to Crawford, who they wanted to have the basketball, and he overshot his receiver on the far side of the floor.
You know, a dead ball like that allows St. Edward to set up a defense, and that's what they did, and they got the turnover.
So we're approaching 2 minutes. St. Edward's down 2 possessions.
There you go, running it for your best shooter.
Off the screen.
There
Bingo!
It is. Love that set.
Josh Ogle nails the trifecta from the right point.
Love
and cuts it to a 1-possession game.
Ran a double stagger screen for their best shooter, Josh Ogle. Had a defense set up, and then they had an offensive play already made up what they were doing, and they connected. Now it's a 3-point game.
Yeah. Eric Flannery's a pretty good coach, isn't he?
Hey, man. You win over 400 like he has and over 600 like Coach Brackle has. They know what they're doing, and they've shown it today.
Well, you were talking about who the top players over the years have been. Kevin asked me during a timeout. I mean, obviously, my favorite player of all time, and I don't think there will ever be another Kenny Anderson here at the Beach Ball.
Special.
At no point was there a better player on the floor than Kenny Anderson. At no time he was on the floor. Outside of that, you know, I would go, I never saw Danny Ferry or Jeff Lebo play here. So they played the year before I got to Myrtle Beach.
I know they're John Rhodes' 2 favorites.
Down in big time.
Yep.
Mike Bibby, obviously. I love Luke Kennard. I mean, Raymond Felton is close to my heart. I would like to throw some Socastee guys in there because, you know, I'm a Socastee boy. But, I think Kobe Bryant was good, not great. Vince Carter was great.
Bounce.
He was great.
He still has it at 40. He's still windmilling.
Still playing 22 years in the league. Isn't that crazy? And he played here at the Beach Ball. But
a lot of legends, I'll tell you that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Jason Kidd. He was the whiz kid when he was here, no question. My director's talking in my ear. Rasheed Wallace, he was here for 3 years, was very, very good at Socastee. And we got a timeout, Coach Brackle. So that'll give us a chance to reminisce a little more. I tell you what, the best final we ever had was Simon Gratz with Rasheed Wallace against Baltimore Dunbar. On a tip-in at the buzzer. Wow. Dunbar beats the Simon Gratz team out of Philadelphia, and it broke up their 3-year run to the finals. They won it, they lost to Dunbar, and then they won it the next year in Rasheed's senior year. And but it was an unbelievable game, back and forth, and again, a tip-in at the buzzer won it. Same as we had here a couple of years ago. Remember when Imhotep had a tip-in at the buzzer that won it?
They just beat Oak Hill down in Florida, so they're rolling again this season. I tell you, that game, Raymond versus DeMatha, the Latta.
Yeah,
DeMatha game was legendary here. The crowd was crazy.
Latta beating DeMatha was something else, yeah. When we had Sebastian Telfair and Raymond Felton against each other, this place was packed. We had about 6,000 in here. We're down to a minute and a half, and the Eagles needed it to break, and they got it.
Another stop.
And a block shot underneath stopped the fast break for the Eagles of St. Edward.
I tell you what you see here at the Beach Ball. There's no shot clock, so teams sometimes they get a lead, and they get complacent with the ball. They don't push. They don't make the right reads. They're looking to run clock, and what happens is you cause unforced turnovers, and that's what's happened here for St. Edward. Only down by 3 now with 1:20. Let's see what they run out of the OB set.
Baseline left.
They got the handoff to Huffman. Huffman's got to come up ready to shoot.
Oh, he could have set the screen for him right there, but he bounces in the lane off to Spencer Crane. Now to Huffman. 3 in the air from the left side, misses everything. And they tried to save it in, but couldn't. That's a tough shot for Devontae Blanton, when Blanton on the night is 1 for 11.
Yeah, he just is missed short on his shots. And that's something, obviously, his first game here at the Beach Ball. Just missed short.
Cross-court pass. Now the Eagles will scramble under a minute. Still plenty of time. Only down a bucket.
Nice pass.
Underneath pass. Beautiful feed beneath the basket. And that's Chris Jordan. Makes it a two-possession game now. Hanging one-hander off the back iron. And a foul is called.
Dropping it down, Mr. Coleman.
Going to be on Isaiah Wyatt.
He's really stepped up, number 2, the senior. Love seeing seniors come in, and he was a spark in the first half when they were down 11-4. Michael Coleman.
So getting points with the clock stop. That's a good thing for St. Edward. Still 43.5 seconds to go in the ball game. Second free throw,
Big one.
lays in.
Foster's been the top player, number 2, for St. Edward.
And a jump pass across the court. Nice job. Evan Williams picks up his dribble.
No need to foul. You got traps.
And a timeout for Coach Blanton.
Good timeout, Coach Blanton.
Or Coach Brackle, I'm sorry. Coach Brackett for North Crowley. Coach Brackle with 604 wins in his career. Amazing. And his college, Saul Ross College. I had never heard of Saul Ross. He played when it was an NAIA school at Saul Ross College in Alpine, Texas. How about that?
You and I both looked it up, and he's in the Hall of Fame there.
That's awesome.
As a player, you know, I was talking to one of the coaches' wives before the game, and it's awesome. There's 8 of his former players are now coaching within the district. And you see that at the next level, like Duke, for instance. Coach K's done an unbelievable job building that brotherhood, as they say, where they have former players come back and coach, and now they're off coaching at various programs. But he's done that here at North Crowley over the years, his 22nd year. And tradition never graduates. That's something I heard them say, and it's
I love it.
Something that sticks in my head. Coaches say, yeah, we got a young team there. Well, if you have tradition in a program, that will carry on, even if you're young, because those kids grow up playing a certain way. They understand the tradition of their program, and obviously coming in 17-2, they're up by 3 with 34 ticks remaining.
Yeah, the teams in Texas and Louisiana get started way early. They play sometimes 40 or 50 games during a regular season, don't they?
This is their 20th game. This is St. Edward's 6th.
Yeah.
So you kind of know where you're at by your 20th game. St. Edward may be still trying to figure things out.
And double team in the backcourt is a good one. They throw it out of bounds.
Big time.
Throw it out of bounds. Coach Brackle says it was touched. It was deflected, and the officials are saying no.
And that's the second time out of a timeout. Obviously, Coach Brackle set up the play, and it wasn't ran how they wanted it to, and St. Edwards set up their defensive set and got a stop.
Coach Brackle did not get the benefit of the doubt this time, so St. Edward chance to get even or back within a bucket. Here's a crossover dribble. There's the shooter. Back up top to Huffman,
Nice.
to the lane, up off the glass, counted and won it. No, they called a charge. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think that was a bad call.
That's the second charge block call gone against St. Edward.
Let's see here's the drive right here.
And obviously we don't use the charge circle in high school.
That's a good call. I was wrong.
He may have slid over.
I think that's a good call.
They
I
may
do.
be checking to see if the basket does count, if it was released after.
I think in high school, if it's a charge, it's no basket. So they do. I think that was a good call. I'm gonna have to. Listen, I'm the world's worst on the officials, but I think that was a good call.
And the St. Edward crowd let the official have it here, but it looked like he did slide in. Watching the review on that play.
Well, he may have slid in, but I thought he got there before he left the floor. But we'll have to agree to disagree.
No,
on
I'm
that
with you.
one.
I thought he did slide in there in plenty of time.
Yeah, let's see it one more time. Our director says let's show that one more time and lean back just a second, Kev, so we can get a look at this real close as they bring it up top, hit the Huffman, and let's see how soon he slides. See, he's there.
That's a great call.
He was
man.
there.
Great call.
Now, had that been in college, that would have been a block because he was
on the circle.
inside the restricted area, but we don't have that rule in high school.
You know, and I think the angle he came at, obviously coming from the opposite block to step in and take it, you know, it looked like he was moving, but we watch it in the instant replay, and obviously he was there.
Yeah, I thought in live action it was a block all the way, but the official was right on the baseline. He saw it, and that was a good call.
That's why we're not officiating.
That's right. That's why we're not wearing the stripes. So we'll give the ball to North Crowley with a 3-point lead. In for North Crowley, inbounding Chris Jordan. Comes into Isaiah Wyatt. They're trying to get it ahead, and they do, to Michael Coleman. Coleman is chased and finally fouled near the mid-circle.
Good job breaking pressure, North Crowley. Michael Coleman, and the unsung hero today at the line, number 2.
Coleman, 2 for 3 at the foul line. And he's 3 for 4 now. And that makes it a 2-possession game.
Coach Brack will give a fist pump to attaboy Mike, now up by 4. He knows that's a big one.
Mark
2-possession
Gertner.
game.
Mark Gertner back in the ball game for St. Edward. And they've got to get it up in a hurry. 8 seconds, get a shot and a timeout. 3 in the air, going to be short. Rebounded, up off the glass by Ogle, and timeout with 1.6 left on the clock. If they can get the steal and a quick shot, they can send this thing to overtime.
We've seen some crazy plays
Yes,
down the
we
stretch,
have.
especially here at the beach ball over the 30-plus years that we've been here. But I tell you, throwing it deep here would not be a bad idea. 1.6 left if you can get a touch on it. If not, obviously get it to your best free throw shooter, maybe send an easy screen.
Hey, we'd love for you folks to come join us here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Plan your next vacation by going to visit myrtlebeach.com and check out all the great things that we have to offer here along the beautiful Grand Strand of South Carolina. We're talking about the Sky Wheel, the largest on the East Coast. We're talking about Market Common, where you've got all kinds of athletic fields, you've got entertainment and shopping, food, unbelievable. And Broadway at the Beach, they've got their own amusement park at Broadway at the Beach. And then, of course, North Myrtle Beach to Georgetown, you got the beautiful Great Coast of South Carolina. And, of course, golfing, you can't beat it. Nearly 100 golf courses any way you want.
They're adding a Top Golf. I mean, we both live here, and it continues to grow. I can't wait till Top Golf opens up.
Top Golf was one of my favorite announcements of the year. I'm going to spend all of my money at Top Golf when they open in 2019.
Hey, you see Coach Brackle said throw it deep.
And they throw it in the backcourt, immediate foul. Boy, almost a full second ran off the clock.
That's not what Coach Brackle wanted. He wanted the ball to go deep, but they did have the possession arrow with 1.5 on the clock. They send one of their better players, Isaiah Wyatt, to the line, their top free throw shooter.
And because in high school basketball, no replays, they do not reset the clock. Now the officials can tell the clock operator to reset the clock, but they cannot look at replay to determine time. So they lose almost a full second right there, but there's 0.7 of a second left, and if he misses this shot, they have time to catch and shoot. So if he misses this, we got a ball game. If he makes it, it's over.
I don't know if Dwayne Haskins is walking through the door right now. That's a long throw.
Wyatt makes it, swishes the net, and that should do it. Inbound, even if he makes it, it's going to be North Crowley moving on to the quarterfinals. The Texas squad comes in and becomes the second team from the Lone Star State today to make it to the quarterfinals.
Yates won the game earlier. Now you see North Crowley grinding one out. That's a grind-out W right there to win by 4 against a strong St. Edward team. Maybe when you didn't shoot it as well, you pulled it out the end with defensive plays, and some bench guys really stepped up for North Crowley.
Yeah, 47% shooting for St. Edward still wasn't enough because North Crowley got 7 more shots in the ball game and shot 45% for the contest. But we'll take a look a little bit more at the stats when we return and close this one out before the Visit MyrtleBeach.com pregame show for our final game of the day. Here, a winner tonight, North Crowley 63, St. Edward 59. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stadium.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Back courtside as we wrap up the third and next to final first-round game, our penultimate first-round game. The final first-round games coming your way here on Stadium in just a moment. The Bishop O'Connell squad will take on Myrtle Beach High School, and Joe Wooten already out, dapper as always, watching his team get ready for the final first-round game of the 2018 Beach Ball Classic. Almost said 2009 for some reason, but the 2018 Beach Ball Classic. Kevin Schneider, Alan Smothers with you. We appreciate you sticking around, and we got the HTC Player of the Game coming up, but a kid made a name for himself tonight and actually may have jumped onto a lot of people's recruiting boards this evening.
Yeah, there were several high-level coaches in the building, and it was Isaiah Crawford was the man. Had 23 points, 6 rebounds for North Crowley. I knew about him coming in. He was first-team All-District last year. He's a standout to watch in the state of Texas, and he put on a show. Super versatile at 6'6", the ability to put it on the deck and really finish around the rim. Intrigued a lot of college coaches in the building, and look for him to be added to many people's boards. Yeah, so he is making a name for himself. But Isaiah Crawford will be our HTC Player of the Game. But it's time to look at some stadium stats here in the postgame. The top scorer tonight was Crawford, of course, 23 points and 6 rebounds on the night. The top rebounder for North Crowley was Isaiah Wyatt with 7, but a very balanced scoring sheet, both on the points and rebound margins. And for St. Edward, top scorer was Montori Foster with 17 points. He was followed by Grant Huffman with 10. Top rebounder, Devontae Blanton with 6. But near the end, they just could not get the shot that they needed at the crucial moment to fall. Yeah, they had a couple calls go against their way. If you're St. Edward, I thought Grant Huffman had some nice drives. Montori Foster had a big second half. Obviously, a Division I prospect, finishing with 17. But credit North Crowley. Isaiah White really hit the glass. His shot wasn't falling from the outside, but he finished with 7 boards, several putbacks. And credit their bench. Michael Coleman stepped in, had 6 points. Trey Ballard hit a big layup to finish with 8 points. Winning teams sometimes have those X-factor guys that show up in their bench. They may not be on the star reports, the Big Shots preview, but they show up and make plays, and your team usually comes out with a W. Well, tell me a little bit about Big Shots right quick. I know you've got a scouting service for college coaches, but fans can come to many of your events by going to your website and finding out about it, right? Yeah, we host 60-plus events nationally, all over the country, just providing a platform for players through our tournaments and our showcases. And we've helped over now probably 1,500 players a year get scholarships out of our events, 192 now in the NBA. So it's been fun to see it grow over the 15 years to what it is today.
Yeah, small event at Socastee High School kicked it all off, just like a small tournament at Socastee High School kicked it all off 38 years ago, and you see what it has become today as North Crowley, the second Lone Star State team to move on to the quarterfinals tomorrow evening. They will play in the final game against the winner of the upcoming matchup. The Myrtle Beach Seahawks taking on Bishop O'Connell. Our friends Lane Harris and Wayne Gray will be here to bring it to you. And don't go anywhere, because up next is the Visit Myrtle Beach pregame show with Banana Jack Murphy. For Kevin Schneider, I'm Alan Smothers saying your final score was St. Edward falling to North Crowley 63-59. Stay right where you are. More up on Stadium next.